This video was sponsored by the Institute for Mapping Technology, where you can learn GIS in a single day. This is the second half of how to find historic old aerial photos through the USGS program. The USGS overflew most of the United States around World War II, and we're going to the USGS website of eros, .usgs.gov. You can see it there, eros.usgs.gov, and this is their Earth Resource and Observation Center site. If you click on Find Data on the top bar here, it gives you a description of what they have. They have aerial photography, satellite imagery, elevation data. We're after aerial photography, specifically what's called the single frame records. Single frame records. They shot these from 37 on through present, but they have a lot in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and that's the oldest national coverage I know of. You have to get them through Earth Explorer, and I want to show you a second way to use it. I showed you the other way in the previous video. This way, instead of typing in an address, we're going to use the map over here, and we're going to zoom into our area of interest. In this case, I want to go to a rural part of Arkansas, where I knew my family used to have a farm 100 years ago. So we're going to go into northeast Arkansas. I am zooming in with my scroll wheel, and it zooms me in. I could also click the plus sign. I'm looking for that right there, Newport, Arkansas. Alright, I've lost it there for a second. Black Rock, there it is, Newport. Now I'm looking manually using this map that the USGS has as its background base map. Is a Google map that is comprised of several map montages. There's AM again. Okay, so I'm looking for anything in this region around here. How I tell this where I'm searching is my mouse. Now if I click and hold, I can drag this map around. But if I quickly click, like right there, it puts a marker. The second time I click, it begins the outline. Third time, it starts drawing the texture of a polygon. And I think I can even move my polygon around. Yes, I can. So there is what I call my AOI. That stands for Area of Interest. Now that I've specified an AOI, I want to know all data sets, all aerial photography that occurs inside of that. That leads me to go to some criteria here. Date selected, I want from the 1920s through about 1985. And I'm going to click Data Sets. And here's a list of all the data sets that possibly could be here. I am after aerial photography, and you'll see there's all the aerial photography options here. One, as an example, is the Antarctic flight line maps. Now let me tell you, we're not going to find any in rural Arkansas. So clearly this is a list of all potential data sets. I know I'm after historic, so I click on the aerial photo single frames. So now I go to the next step, results. And as you know from the last map, from the last video, this takes some time to pull up the data sets. And I'm going to show you something I didn't show you last time, is instead of downloading our maps individually, we can actually tell the system to combine them all into one bulk download. And that makes it easy whenever you're doing a lot of data downloads. So I will do that this time. And I also want to talk a little bit about the next video. We will be pulling aerial photography that is high resolution. So we'll need to be zooming in to a very small area to download high resolution imagery. When you have 1 meter resolution, you might have a file that is 50 megabytes. If you double the density of resolution and go from 1 meter to half meter, you increase the file size by 400%. Okay, so I chose just aerial photo single frames. If I'd have chosen 2 different data sets, it'd show up here. And this follows the same path as the last video. This time I'm going to show you some options. I'm going to click on Download Options. This lets me download it right away, which I'm not going to do. This image lets me download right away. This image also lets me download right away. Now those all might be medium resolution imagery. This image is different. There are 2 options: download in medium res file, which is what all the others were, but I also have the option to download a high res file. What's happened here is that somebody else paid to have the image scanned at high resolution, and now that it's been paid for, they let anybody else download it at high resolution as well. Again, a high resolution file is probably 4 times larger than the original one. But if you need the accuracy, that's great. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and download the high-res file. I click the download button this time, and I have an option to download an 80 megabyte file. So, at this point, I will get on to the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. And if you have any further interest in GIS or about learning GIS, please go to earthexpolorer.usgs.gov. We have other free data sources available, and we now offer online classes in under a day.